if you're a poll watcher, don't listen to the people who say you can watch the poll, but you got to do it from way over there where you can't see anything. We don't have to accept that. We don't have to accept it if they say the signatures don't have to match. We don't have to accept it if there are 100 ballots from the same address and they say it's okay. It's not okay. We don't have to accept it if people don't have voter ID. We don't have to accept any of these things. This is America.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Now that was potential VP pick, Ben Carson right there, articulating himself so well about election integrity issues. Shout out to George Behazy tweets for posting this. He said, moments like this is why Trump may pick Dr. Ben Carson to be his vice president. The way he articulates election integrity issues, even to the last detail, is amazing for sure. I mean, people are really trying to make the claim that having an ID is somehow racist or needing your ID to vote is somehow, discriminating against low income communities. First of all, that's a slap on your intelligence, because you definitely need your ID to do any and everything. You're gonna need it to buy tobacco products. You're gonna need it to get into certain businesses after a certain hour, not even before a certain hour. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need your ID to purchase liquor, all these other things. So to enter onto, you're gonna need your ID for so many different things. When you're applying for a job, when you're gonna need your ID for everything. What makes it seem so difficult to gain that just to vote? It's just weird, man. Anyhow, sidebar, I found this little girl on the internet, bro. And when I tell you she was cooking. I'm trying to scroll to it right now. Should have been prepared. I'm sorry about that. But she was cooking on why she supports Donald Trump. And believe it or not, her parents aren't even supporters of Donald Trump, and this little girl has a mind of her own. Yo, she got a bright future too. I'm telling you, I'm gonna see her in politics at some point.
In my class, do mostly the sixth graders do a lot. Yeah.
What do they say to you?
Well, they say they really know me for my golden jacket I love, but then they say, "Oh, it's Trump girl" and stuff like that. But I don't let it get to me.
So, what are the major problems you see in this country?
Immigration, I love immigrants. If they come here legally. I don't like the word illegally. I like legally. And if they're not going to do that, we have to put some precautions.
As a kid, what do you see as other than immigration, what is the other problems that you see?
Education. The teachers union controls everything. So I like how Donald Trump put in charge of education a lady named Miss Betsy, I think.
Betsy DeVos?
Yes, Miss Betsy DeVos. And she's just great. She's doing everything we need to. And I heavily support school choice.
Did your parents get you involved in politics?
Not really. Actually, my mommy was a Ted Cruz supporter in the primaries. I told her on the primary day of voting, I told her to vote for Trump. She needs to vote for Trump. She didn't listen to me. That's okay. But now, after the primary, she realized the mistake she did. I like Ted Cruz, just not as much as Donald Trump.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm going to graduate from Penn State University, be in the Army for 5 years, be a police officer, be a homicide detective, be a private investigator, all while having the hobby as an Egyptologist and an astronomer. And then I'll retire, become a judge, and then if the country really needs me, I'll run for president. Yes, on the Supreme Court.
Whoa! Oh, so you're going to run for president. That would be awesome. And what are you gonna run like Mr. Trump ran and tell the media that they're not what is gonna make the world go around anymore? That it's the American people that are what's gonna make the world go around?
Of course, but I don't know the way I'll run for president, because I don't know what the politics will be like when I grow up. Maybe something will change. Maybe the media will be a little bit nicer. Not gonna happen. But I just don't know the way I should run yet. And maybe, I won't know that until I'm ready to run for president, which is way after I'm 30, let's just say that.
I'm thoroughly impressed, beyond impressed. First of all, she got the gall. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I didn't have the gall to sit there and tell you that I support Donald Trump. But she got the gall to do it, in school and all of that. Man, salute to this young kid right here, man. I love to see it. Definitely gonna have a bright future for sure. And her level of awareness is what makes me, applaud this even more. It's just like, yo, this kid knows about what's going on with the border. She sees what's happening in the education system. Salute, kudos, man. Biden actually was good for something, making us educate ourselves, right? Can y'all imagine this being one of her classmates?
Welcome back to another edition of the Preschool Apprentice. Today the teacher told us all about mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. It's a tremendous little food. It's so great. It's got these little pieces of pasta and these little bags of squeezable cheese. We love to squeeze the cheese, quite frankly. And nobody squeezes cheese better. Nobody. You look at Sleepy Joe, you look at Barry, you look at George Bush. Nobody squeezes cheese better than I do. The other thing that I would like to ponder at is that I don't know who Mac is. Mac is an unidentified identity. And I'm quite frankly a little confused. There's mac and cheese, but who is Mac? I know who cheese is. Cheese is delicious. Who is Mac? We don't know. We're looking into it quite bigly. We're looking into it so bigly. We're going to find you, Mac, and we are going to bring you to justice. We're going to bring you to justice with a lot of cheese, okay?
Oh, we're gonna find you, Mac. We're gonna bring you to when I seen that clip, I died laughing, bro. I watched it at least 5 times back to back. He had the mannerisms on point. I mean, everything, even with the mouth. He said bigly. Oh, bigly, bruh. But anyhow, to the seriousness. Back to the seriousness of the video. You know, we initially started it off talking about mail-in ballots and voter fraud. We want to make sure that we don't have none of that going on, voter integrity. Then we segued into the young lady talking about, you know, well, surprising us with her level of intelligence as to what is happening with, you know, Donald Trump. Now, I just want to make sure we stay on time because I just veered off for like a whole 4 minutes. Anyhow, this is just a report that came through my timeline. It says Dominion deleted 2.7 million Trump votes nationwide. Data analysis finds 221,000 Pennsylvania votes switched from Trump to Biden. Nearly 1 million deleted states using Dominion vote system switch for. Oh wow, yo, let's just go ahead and check this clip out.
For Democrats that were meant for Republicans, causing a 6,000 vote swing against our candidates. The county clerk came forward and said tabulating software glitched and caused a miscalculation of the votes. Since then, we have now discovered that 47 counties use this same software in the same capacity. Antrim County had to hand count all of the ballots, and these counties that use this software need to closely examine their results for similar discrepancies. The people of Michigan deserve a transparent and open process.
Oh, wow. Shocking. Not shocking. This is something that we've been saying, I mean, I don't know, since 2020. But everybody kept saying, you know, this is just fake conspiracies, you MAGA, whatever. This has been debunked. I think it's at the point now where we have to move on, but something has to be done about this. What will Congress do with this information? I don't know. They literally have information on wrongdoing being done. Whoa, bro, we are far from a democracy. That's all I'm gonna say.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected, I need you once I'm elected. No longer just who gets to vote or making it easy for eligible people to vote. It's about who gets to count the vote and whether your vote counts at all.
It's about who gets to count the votes, whether they should count at all.
But who gets to count the vote? Count the vote. Count the vote. It's about election subversion, not just whether or not people get to vote. Who counts the vote?
Look like y'all the one who's doing the counting, man. All that. Right, it's not gonna work. You ain't got no bass in your voice left, man. It's all tough. Whatever that means. But if he's the one who put together the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in history in the history of American politics, I don't want it. I don't know about you, but I don't want it. We cannot forget about the four Connecticut Democrat campaign officials that was charged with ballot fraud. I only know the woman to the top right, Wanda. As Common Sense said, let's see how they get away with it. I haven't heard any update on them. Even Elon Musk asked for details.
Day after 4 people in Bridgeport were arrested on election fraud charges, reactions have been pouring in.
Now, 2 of those people are elected public officials, Bridgeport City Councilor Alfredo Castillo and the vice chair of Bridgeport's Democratic Party, Wanda Jeter Pataki. And she, of course, is the one who was first seen on surveillance video possibly stuffing absentee ballots this past election.
At an event today, reporters asked Governor Lamont if Wanda should step down from her leadership role. Take a listen.
I think she should step down.
If she won't step down, should the Democratic Party remove her?
I would think so.
Are you going to ask them to do that?
Hope they do the right thing.
Well, tonight we are diving deeper into the arrest warrant affidavits and booking photos of Wanda Jeter Pataki and 3 other campaign operatives. Matt Karen joining us now. Matt, what do those documents tell us?
Yeah, Brent, well, they tell us that the Bridgeport city worker and vice chair of that Democratic Town Committee, Wanda Jeter, is charged with 4 Class D felonies. Now, those are the least serious class of felonies, but they are felonies nonetheless. And the details of them, well, they're spelled out here in this arrest warrant. This is the document that started it all. 2019. An investigative referral from then Secretary of the State Denise Merrill to the State Elections Enforcement Commission. 5 years later, arrests. These are the booking photos. Should it have taken 5 years?
It's not acceptable to me that it takes this long for justice to be served. And it makes you question how long it's going to take to investigate and ultimately prosecute what occurred blatantly red-handed on camera this past summer.
The 2023 ballot drop box surveillance video of Wanda Jeter is part of a separate investigation, which so far has not led to any arrests. New in the last 24 hours, Fox 61 obtained the arrest warrant affidavit for Wanda Jeter, outlining those 2019 allegations. We learned investigators examined absentee ballots, surveillance video from Bridgeport Senior Housing, and used witness interviews as evidence to make the arrests. A voter who didn't request an absentee ballot told investigators, Wanda came to my house and told me only to sign the bottom of the blank application. She went on to say, I have done this with Wanda over the past 10 years. The voter went on to tell investigators, I told her I thought I should vote in person. Wanda said no.
So we're going to hold people accountable.
But Governor Lamont, along with the majority of members of Connecticut's congressional delegation, rushed to endorse Joe Ganim for mayor.
I don't think, look, he's not being charged.
Basically, they shoved it in our face. We don't care about your vote. This is our man.
Black Lives Matter 860 released a statement saying, in part, Connecticut Democrats have turned a blind eye, even with video evidence, to the disenfranchisement of black voters in the city of Bridgeport.
Black voters were disenfranchised via election fraud. And this is going to have a nationwide effect on our rights. If he really respected and valued our votes, he would make sure that it's 1 vote per person and that they're not forced into ballot harvesting.
Now, just yesterday, Governor Lamont did sign a bill into law that makes sure the State Elections Enforcement Commission completes their investigations within 90 days. But it's not retroactive, so it doesn't apply to the 2023 Bridgeport investigation. The law also requires cameras at absentee ballot drop boxes. Well, that may catch a criminal, but it certainly didn't do anything to deter the activity we all saw on camera in Bridgeport. And in November, voters here in Connecticut will get to weigh in on a proposed constitutional amendment that, if approved, would allow any voter to get an absentee ballot for any reason. In the studio, Matt Karen.
The impossible has already happened, man. They got away with it. They're continuing to get away with it. And right here, this is what took place in Bridgeport. But this woman also has been doing this for what, 10 years? 10 years? Coming up on people's cribs like, hey man, you know, just sign right here. We don't need you to read nothing else. Wow.